Hello, all you peeps out there. I do believe James is supposed to be joining me here in a few minutes. I sent him the link, so it's kind of late here, so I think we may only go about an hour. We'll see how it goes. I have a birthday party tomorrow. My nephew is turning 5, so it actually snowed here today. They said we were getting snow showers, but it was just some flurries. It didn't really do much, thank goodness, but like they said it was going to snow and then it wasn't in the forecast, and then um I didn't hear anything else about the snow, and then the snow just started. So guess they were right the first time, huh? Where are you at, Dags? I heard Texas got a lot of snow, including Houston and Austin. Thanks, Doc. So y'all want to hear something really like creepy? Okay, so I'm working on this vid on Scientology, and let's just say that this religious cult that they are actually waiting for their quote Messiah to come back. So it's kind of really freaky. And I guess they believe he's going to be coming back from the air. So they have these crop circles that they keep maintained so that he will be able to find his way back home. And then they also have a house built for him. And that's Ron Hubbard. So L. Ron Hubbard, excuse me. But it's kind of crazy. I haven't really looked into the Scientology all that much, but when you start digging, you're like, "Oh my goodness." They have their own runway and everything. So, what's going on, you all? We have Autumn Kite, we have Doc Amber Davis, we got Dagger Spells. All right. It's been a little bit, huh? Yeah, there for about 3.5 weeks, I was like dead. I don't know if I told you all this, but I had like strep throat and it was really, really bad. Because at first, when I got sick, I thought it was cold. And then I was like getting to where I like thought I had pneumonia because I was having trouble breathing. And so I was like, oh, I gotta go to the doctor. So I went to the urgent care, and my lungs looked good. They said my lungs looked normal. And they did a strep test and a flu test. And I told them to do a CBC because when I first got sick, it was acting just like a cold, so a viral infection, right? So if they do a CBC, which is a complete blood count, they can tell by your white cell count whether if it's low, that means it's viral. If your white cells are elevated, then that means that it's bacterial. So if it's bacterial, then you need antibiotics to therefore get rid of it, right? Well, they came back and they said that my white count was 22,000, and that was extremely high, and that they recommended I go to ER. And my strep test came back positive. So, yeah, I declined going to ER and I accepted the antibiotics, and so after about 5 days I started feeling better. So, but I think it's cuz I was sick for so long because it acted like the flu or a cold. And I thought, well, it'll just go away on its own. And then I tried the natural. I always try natural, to get rid of it. Like you do I've got some drops that are, I've got Nite, niacin iodine, and then I've also got oil of oregano, which oil of oregano is a natural antibiotic, but I think I just let it go so long that I actually really needed real antibiotics. But anybody out there, if you take antibiotics, always take probiotics with it because the probiotics helps put the good bacteria back into your body. So, and that is a must. Actually, I recommend taking probiotics once or twice daily, anyways, even if you're not sick. It just keeps help everything elevated or, not elevated, but regulated. So I'm good now, but I'm glad to be back and healthy and I love you guys. I've missed you all. I don't do many live streams anymore and that'll probably change, when I can do them, I'll do them. So, but you know what? You have to be in the mood to do these kinds of things. Um so I'm going to try to at least do one a week, and just get back in the swing of things. So, my pain levels have been worse because it's getting colder. So I just get so used to having the fibro flare up and the bursitis flare up and the osteoarthritis and the tendinopathy and tendonitis flare up that it's a normal everyday thing for me. So I don't even complain about it anymore. So I need to get some more CBD oil. That stuff is amazing. Um, I just ran out. I was like babysitting that stuff and I didn't have enough when I was sick. I didn't have enough of it to take as a regimen. So James is not here yet. He was actually driving when I called him. So Alabama got snow, really? Wow. Thank you, Amber Davis. I appreciate that. Yes, melatonin is very good for sleeping. I went to an auction or an auction. Listen to me. There is an Amish store down the road, and they get stuff that other grocery stores and department stores are about to get rid of because they have expiration dates that are about to expire, like a month or two away. So they get those products from the grocery stores and everything stays good longer than what it says. It's just the FDA makes them put an expiration date on everything. um Now the only thing about that, like say if the medicine is 1 or 2 years old, then you just have to worry it's not going to hurt you. It's just the effects will not be as potent. So but anyways, they had bottles of melatonin there at the Amish store for like, I think it was 50 cents a bottle, which normally, you can get a bottle of melatonin for anywhere from $3 to $5. So it was actually a really good deal. Hey, Autumn. Hey, Bob Hammond. Nice to see you in here. Both of you. Mia, what's going on? You can join if you want to, Mia. Or wait till James get in here and sees. Let's see what he wants to talk about. Ryan, what's going on? I hope Nash shows up because Nash was wanting to do a live stream. So I'm not sure where he's at. So it may be too late for him. Cole Harton, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. I've been trying to bribe Call for an Uprising to join me if he ever will. So Maybe he'll surprise me one day and join. Okay, hold on just a second. I'm gonna see where he's at. Okay. Is Casey really live streaming right now? I had no idea. Oops. Uh-oh. Well, do you know how long he started? How long he's been streaming, Autumn? Hey, Aaron Cross, how's it going? Oh, that's good to know, Mia. Thanks. Oh, he just started streaming a couple minutes ago. Okay. You know, I think I did remember seeing something this morning. He had a live stream reminder up. So, I did not even think about that. See, but the thing is with Casey, we're such good friends that he won't get upset. But you all, if you all are not subscribed to his backup channels, you all should really go and subscribe to his backup channels. Um, there's also Call for an Uprising 2 and The Fire Rises. You all need to go subscribe to those channels as well. Richie from Boston has his backup channels, but he actually got his main channel back. There's just a bunch of channels that, you know, are trying to make it and had to create these backup channels. And some of their channels were already created and then they had to go and change the names. But still, um, like Casey, I mean, that's all he does for income is YouTube. So we call it the ad apocalypse, is what we call it. But I no longer monetize my channel. Um, and even when I did monetize my channel, I gave it away. I did giveaways and then I helped other people that were in need and you know, I really missed that part of it. You know, if I saw someone that needed something, I would help them out. But it really it messed up when we went to file taxes. It just messed things up a little bit. Um so yeah. Yeah, Mia, I've got Rebecca's number. I'll give her a call. Love you too. Oh, Casey at Enter the Stars is a very good person. Um, I've been watching him since he started on YouTube, and he was the one that actually told me to start up a channel because you know behind the scenes we would always decode stuff, and he was like, you know, you should start your own channel, and you know it took me a while to even consider actually doing it. So I think it'll be, well, it was a year in June when I actually started uploading. So, Oh, okay, you weren't talking to me, you were talking to Dags. Sorry, but Mia, you can let, Rebecca out. Let her know I'll message her. Okay, hold on just a second, I'm gonna give James a call. Hold on. Okay, so he didn't answer. He'll be here in a few minutes. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was, since there's quite a few people in here, here recently, I've just been involved in a little bit of drama here on the interwebs as far as YouTube goes. I don't really talk to a whole lot of people outside of YouTube, but sometimes it can get you into some trouble. And it wasn't necessarily me, but there was a feud between two different individuals, and I jumped in being friends with both of them and tried to be the peacekeeper. And yeah, that didn't really work out. So, um, you try to help people, you try to give them advice, and, sometimes it just ends up coming to bite you back in the butt, to be frank. So, um, I just ask that you all say prayers for these two people, and, um, I don't even necessarily need to tell you all their names because God knows all. So, I never really did get that. When I got older, I understood more that when you're talking to like an individual in conversation and, people write down prayer names, like have a book for names and stuff, that's totally irrelevant because God knows all of your thoughts and He knows who you're speaking about before you even speak it, so He's going to automatically know who needs prayers and who you're talking about. So, when I pray with my son every night before bed, I always say, "Please, God, bless everyone that we know and love. And then also, please bless the ones we don't know, but we do love." So, something kind of like that. And always pray for the saved and the unsaved, and, everyone. Everyone includes everyone. And I'm not perfect beyond any means am I perfect. We all fall short of the glory of God, right? We all have our sins, we all have our struggles, and God is very much aware of that. But I tell you one thing, He has way more patience than I could have when it comes to the tyranny and evil the evilness that goes on all over this earth. And I don't know if you all feel it, but I feel that it's not gonna be much longer before he loses his patience with everything. And, those fires in California, I mean, Doc, if you want to jump in here and you can just talk about it. I know the last time I talked to you, it was quite near you. So, do you want to jump in here and talk to everyone about what you've seen and what you've done? I'm going to copy this link and I'll go ahead and send it to you. Just in case. I mean, don't feel pressured or anything, okay? Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sure James has quite a bit to talk about. He just got back from the mountains. So, I was kind of getting worried about him there for a little while. I was like, first he told me he was going to do a stream Sunday, last Sunday with me, and then I must have heard him wrong. And then he said no Monday, and then I didn't hear from him Monday, and I was like, "Oh, I hope he made it back okay." And then I seen that he was uploading, so I knew he was good to go. Well, I mean, it's also been a long time, Doc, since you've even been on here. So I'm supposed to have Photo Helix on soon too. So we need to plan and make a time for that as well. And Nash, if you're out there, I sent you a link as well. There's Illusion. How are you, honey? I don't know. Do you all think I should shut off the stream since Casey's streaming? No, I did not get a response. I hope he's okay because he said he was going to be home in about 10 minutes. So I'm kind of getting a little worried. Let me check something. Yeah, I sent him the link 31 minutes ago. Well, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I guess kind of if you're in like a group, a core group, it's just respectful to not, I guess, intertwine and be on top of somebody else's live stream. So, but Casey has, you know, I mod for his channel. I guess I could do it, multitask, be modding on my phone while I'm doing this. Okay. Well, we'll continue then. Um, Anybody got any ideas of what you want me to talk about? Anything popping off or Any juicy stuff? No, it's okay. I'll go ahead and keep it going. I got both my pups here sleeping behind me. They follow me wherever I go. So I no longer have just one following me. I have two shadows. And then I guess if you count the kids, they're older, so they're no longer my shadows. But my son, he's just a mama's boy. Every day he comes home and he misses me so much while he's at school. And he's been singing me, "You Are My Sunshine," every time he comes home from school. And he'll hug and dance with me, and it's just sweet. The Disney arrest, no, I haven't, Mia. Yeah, pull up the link and put it in the chat here. Hey, Mia, do you have a garage attached to your house or anything? Oh, he's going through the rainbow colors. Okay. I could read a little bit. I want to apologize to you all. I started on the book of Jasher, and I don't think I'm going to finish that one. Um, I'm not really feeling well, let's just say this, the discernment that I have about that book is not very keen. It's not very good. It's keen because it's telling me it's not good. So I probably will not finish that. Now I may pick the book up myself and read it in private. But there's just certain things I don't agree with as far as the scriptures go. But I do have a book that I got the same day, which is it would that's what the surprise was going to be. It's the Dead Sea Scrolls, revised into English, the full complete set. So I'm very, very excited. And if you want, while we're waiting, I mean, I could read some of that to you all. Okay, that's fine, Mia. I'll wait. So Disney employees were arrested. I mean, can you kind of give me a little bit insight before you get the link? Was it like a pedophile charge or something like that? I don't know if you all can hear my son screaming at his game. He is laughing very loud. I'm sorry about that, Ryan. And Ryan NC in the chat, his garage burnt down from his phone charger. Am I right, Ryan? So, let me know if you need anything, Ryan. I mean, if anything, I could like do a GoFundMe or something like that because there's a lot of stuff that you need while you're waiting in the process, right? I mean, and it takes a little while for the insurance to settle. So, I mean, if you need a GoFundMe, just let me know and I'll set one up for you. I mean, we're all here to help each other out. So that's a YouTube link, Shayna. Hold on just a second. Oh, wow. Okay, what I'm going to do is play this and I'll share my screen, okay?
From RagingReptilian.com.
Okay. Hold on 2 seconds. Okay.
And got a pretty disturbing. Hello, this is Keninigan from RagingReptilian.com. And got a pretty disturbing story breaking out of Florida, of all places, and that is Walt Disney World. Now, there is actually a video to go along with this from a local media outlet who actually covered this. But what I wanted to say is, and yes, I am using your newswire because, like I said before, your newswire actually links articles from all different news sites. And there is actually a video here from a local news agency that covered the story. But what's really disturbing is nobody is talking about this. You would figure, okay, 35 employees at Walt Disney World have just been arrested in a pedophile ring. And I don't really hear anyone talking about it. This story just broke on the 5th of December. Now, obviously, with the stuff going on around QAnon, we know that as the swamp has been getting drained and Disney World is built around a swamp, a lot of these pedophile rings are going down. And now we just had 35 employees arrested for pedophilia at Walt Disney World.
Wow.
I also think that the mainstream may not be covering this, well, because Disney owns a lot of the media, a lot of the media outlets running the news stations that you watch. And being that it's around Christmas time, they have a huge market around Christmas for all things Disney related, memorabilia, toys, movies. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, police have uncovered a huge pedophile ring at Disney World, Florida, with over 35 employees arrested.
All right. Okay, I think it's working now. Okay.
We'll watch this video here from.
Tonight, more than a dozen men are facing jail time after they are caught during an undercover sex bust, wanting to have sex with underage boys and girls who they met on social media sites. Investigators say several of the suspects also work at Disney or Universal. And as Eric Von Enken tells us, one of the men admitted he's had sex with a teenager before.
This is where Alan Traster lives. According to deputies, when he was arrested, he told them his goal had always been to have sex with a 14-year-old boy. Neighbors tell us they'd see him leave here, drive past their houses, wearing his Disney uniform, headed to Animal Kingdom.
We see this person as very dangerous.
Polk County Sheriff says when they took Alan Treaster down, he worried them more and more with every confession. That he came to this house hoping to have sex with a 14-year-old boy, that he'd already traveled twice to Georgia to have sex with a 15-year-old boy there, and that he is a concierge at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Creepy. That is sick.
Stunned next-door neighbors tell us Treaster lives here with his parents and keeps to himself. He didn't answer when we knocked, but he is out of jail, I checked, and now on unpaid leave, according to Disney. A spokesperson for Universal Studios tells us this man, Matthew Cody Myers, has been fired from his job there after Polk County detectives arrested him at this decoy house for trying to have sex with a 14-year-old girl. And this is Zachary Spencer, a former ticket supervisor at Magic Kingdom, who thought he was coming here to have sex with a 13-year-old boy, according to detectives. The sheriff says that they have tracked down that 15-year-old boy that Treaster told them he had sex with in Georgia. The sheriff says they are now cooperating with Georgia authorities to have Treaster face charges there. It's in Eric Von Aken, locals.
All right, so that was interesting. Well, yeah, one of my videos came up as top choice on YouTube right there. Anyway, I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes here, because obviously it looks like these guys were set up by the police when so it's good to see, though, 35 scumbags off the street, but of all places it happening at employees of Disney World and Universal Studios. How many more are working there? That should be a pretty alarming thing. But like I said, we had the local story here from Kissimmee, Florida, but I don't see any of the big news outlets really covering it. It's not all. Haven't really seen anyone else talking about it. Anyway, the link for this will be down in the description. If there's any questions or comments, leave them below. And until we speak again, this is Communican, and take care.
Wow. Mm-mm-mm. Well, from what I heard on that, that was pretty disturbing. But I'm glad that they're doing their jobs. I mean, people really need to look more into that Hampstead cases. It seems like that's just kind of been pushed underneath the rug because it goes so high up the chain there in London that, I mean, those schools are still running. I mean, how sick and disgusting can you get? And another thing that I've learned is and I don't even know if I should be talking about this, but not only are they pedophile rings, you have the elite and people in Hollywood that are supposed to be drinking baby's blood. And these poor babies, and you know what? The recommended age that they like to get is age 2. Because at age 2, they are aware and they can be really scared. So they get these children and they torture them and they scare them to death, because once you're scared, the adrenaline starts pumping in the blood, and supposedly they drink the children's blood and they get a high that's worse than heroin from this blood. And it's addicting. It's like more addicting than heroin. They like to, oh, I can barely even talk about this. They like to hang them upside down while they're still alive after they've been really scared, and bleed them out and get the blood that way while the heart's still pumping. I read, it was actually this channel that we just watched had a couple videos where Keanu Reeves was talking about it, and I believe Mel Gibson also stated. He didn't state to this to what I just talked about, but I mean, this stuff goes on, and it is so utterly sick. Like, I'm getting upset just talking about it. Yeah, and it's the fountain of youth as well. My husband told me before he left for work that Kirk Douglas just turned 101, I think. And he's been in Hollywood how long? And it just makes you wonder. You know, I'm not assuming things, but you almost have to kind of wonder on that level. You know, he's been in Hollywood quite a while. So, who knows? We have a new subscriber that just joined, Ghost X channel. You all should go to her channel and subscribe. I'm actually going to have her on a live stream here in the next coming days, so that'll be interesting. Go to her channel. She helps talk about the babies and stuff, and you know how they need to be protected and how it's not done. And so I haven't really looked into her channel all that much because I just met her. So, but yeah, go ahead and check her out. And she seems like a very lovely individual. And thanks for joining and being a part of our family here. Yeah, somebody called it Harvey Wood, or yeah, let's see, Harvey Wood earlier. I thought that was kind of funny. And then the Queen of England, just think about it. You know, she's looked the same. I know she's aged, but there's been rumors about her eating children. And look, she's already how old now? So, Unimatrix, thank you. I love you too. But I mean, as far as the whole pedogate thing, they really do seem to be cracking down, but you almost have to wonder, because the government does do diversions all the time to get us to look the other way from what's really going on in the world. Something else I wanted to talk about, and I'll come back to this subject here in a little bit, but I'm working on a video that is going to show the real what happened. Gosh, that really got me upset. I can't even talk. How Kennedy, JFK really died. Okay? And I've even stated on this channel before that I think that Jackie actually shot him and threw the gun behind the seat. But since I've saw this new unedited footage, my mind is just blown. Let me just tell you. Because this footage has not been put out just everywhere, okay? The whole nation of Japan has seen this footage and broadcasted it everywhere. There were 6 people in that car. There was the driver, the passenger, 2 people in the middle, and then Jackie and John in the back. Now, what you see in the footage, he first gets shot in the throat, and rumor has it that it was a shellfish toxin, okay? And that's why he was grabbing his throat. It was like a dart, okay? And then you see the driver look back, okay? Greer, I think, was his last name. You see the driver look back. He takes the gun, puts it over his shoulder, and then shoots Kennedy. Clear as day. Clear as day. So I will be I'm editing that footage, and hopefully I'm working on 2 different ones, so hopefully they'll both be out tomorrow. A friend of mine from high school, he's actually running for US Senate. So I actually shared that video with him yesterday. He's like, "Oh, I want to see." So I sent it to him and I haven't heard a response back. So I don't know. But what Japan did is he sent it back to Bill Cooper, who actually sent it to Japan. And they put it in full color for him so that he would be able to see it better. And let me just tell you all, it is very emotional. Don't concentrate on who got shot and the actual shooting. Concentrate on who has the gun, okay? And I don't necessarily believe the government had something to do with it. I believe the secret societies within and around the government had something to do with it. Because think about it. JFK was wanting to go back to the regular currencies backed by silver, not the notes. And the secret societies, the Illuminati, the banksters, it would just ruin what JFK wanted to do. It would just put them all out of business. So they had to stop him. We have presidents and then we have good presidents, okay? And I'm not saying that Trump is a good president, but I mean, there's things he says and does that I don't care for, but that's what we really needed in this nation. We needed somebody that was not affiliated within the government already. And you all need to think about that. We needed somebody from the outside like us to get in there and completely change things. And I'm not saying I'm for him, but he hasn't even been a president a whole full year yet. It's coming up. But and this tax plan that he's actually doing, it's really not all that bad. If you actually look at all the details of it. I'll probably do a video explaining that as well. So okay, sounds good, Ghost X. That sounds good. Let me know if you need me to join as well. I'm right there. I don't know why my phone keeps going off. Hold on. I meant to. I'm kind of getting worried. I mean, we've been streaming in almost an hour. Hold on, I'm going to mute this real quick and give him a call, okay? Okay, I can't get a hold of him. This is not like him. And he was driving when I talked to him, so he wasn't home yet. So I hope everything is okay. So if you all can shout some prayers out there for James, it'd be great. He's not answering my text or anything. Okay, let's look in the chat here. Oh, Ghost X, thank you so much. You're so sweet, honey. I need to get Illusion Shattered up in here. Need to make it like a girls' night. So, does anybody else want to join the party before James gets here? If James gets here? Anybody want a link? Here, we might have some fun here. Let's add the link into the chat, see what happens. Okay. Last time. Oh, okay. So if you all have been following this channel for a little while, do you all remember the little girl, like the weird one that would come onto my live stream every time I'd throw the link in the chat, the really weird one? Well, I come to find out, I went to her channel, right? And guess what? She was using one of my daughter's drawings as her YouTube avatar. Of all things. And I was like, really now? You know, such a small world it is. So come to find out, it was one of my daughter's friends playing tricks on me. And my daughter knew about it, and she was hiding it from me. I'm like, that's not cool. You don't do that. So I blocked her. She'll grow up one of these days. Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what my son said to me the other day? This is priceless. They were outside. It was really nice out. And they come in and they were thirsty. And I was like, drink some water. You know, I've got filtered water through the fridge. I don't like water, Mommy. I only like the school's water. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then my daughter, she wanted to play this game, right? And here she is 13. She said, yeah, it's called Touch Ya Last. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. She said it was called The Last Touch instead of Gotcha Last, you know? She said it's called The Last Touch. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we've been rubbing that in her face. It's so funny. Oh, goodness. Oh, not a problem. Nobody wants to join with me. Feelings are getting kind of hurt. Where is everybody? It's actually getting really late here. It's our Already 1 o'clock on Eastern time. I appreciate it, Unimatrix. Appreciate it. Okay, well.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Kim. I'm cooking dinner.
Ah, what you cooking?
Oh, what happened to this thing? Did it just die on me?
No, I think you need to mute your watch page, though, because I'm echoing.
My audio just went down to nothing and my screen went black.
Oh, that's not good.
Yep. It was like it turned itself off almost.
Did you mute your watch page?
Let me switch the speaker 1 second. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, you're fine too. I got you loud and clear.
Okay.
Gonna rack it. All right. So no, you're not alone. We can talk about the fires. We can talk about the kids using the icon, your picture or whatever. I kind of lost track of the conversation.
Yeah, if you want to just mute that audio page where you were watching it.
No, I've got it on another stream, but it's a little bit of delay.
Yeah, you need to mute that though, so it don't interfere.
I just did.
Okay, cool.
So catch me back up. What's the drift right now? We're past Kennedy, I guess.
Yeah, have you ever seen that video that Bill Cooper put out?
I've seen so many I wouldn't know which one's his.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a video on it so everybody will be able to see it loud and clear.
You saw the comment in the chat about the two women, the black and the red, and also the other comment about the smile on Jackie's face a moment or two before.
No.
So that was mentioned in the chat. I'm not looking at it right now, but that was just a thought. Those are the things we don't really pick up on in the moment. But I had posted, yeah, I have a picture of Oswald at the front door of the book depository.
Yeah, that's where he was. He was standing outside the front door of the book depository building.
And that's right when the motorcade was passing by.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that from a retired CIA agent. So,
wow.
Robert Tosh, Plumlee.
No.
He used to fly the Air America cocaine flights into Arkansas and stuff. So anyway, he dropped a bunch of stuff a few years ago, and one of his friends was in there, another agent that said, and they were just having a private conversation, a thread, and it was in the public domain. I was in there, and he dropped in that photo for Tosh, for Robert Plumlee, and I grabbed it.
Wow.
And again, and you had to really zoom in on it to see him.
Right.
And there he was, and at a good glance, it was not a cut and paste job.
Right.
It was him wearing those clothes that were shown in the news reports that day. So it's like, okay, but for the most part, nobody's going to grab the ball and run with it.
Well, when he was first interviewed by the press knew about him being charged, about him being charged with Kennedy's murder before he even did. He said, well, to my knowledge, I've only been charged with having a gun or something. He said, I didn't know anything about it. So he thought he was being charged for something totally different. And then when the press asked him about Kennedy's murder, he's like, beats me. And then he later on said, I'm just a patsy.
Exactly.
So,
I remember those words. And I remember his detour to the theater, kind of that story, the walk around, and the officer that found him a couple blocks away or whatever. Like he had no knowledge of what actually happened. It's neither here nor there for me. I can't, substantiate those stories from, 50, 60 years ago, whatever it was, almost.
Well, there was a lot of witnesses that were killed that, seen it. And then there's been a lot of witnesses that they've kept an eye on over all these years.
And those weren't professionals or whatever. Those were just everyday citizens that took
Right.
photographs, and then the photographs were taken, and the next thing you know, the person had an ailment that took them, or they disappeared, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So those stories are all incidental, so to speak. So at this point, um, the most current or any new information that might have popped up. I mean, this is some of the stuff that we've seen over the years, and we question a little bit, but it doesn't go in the larger circle. It's a small circle, and the roar, you know, kind of fades after a few weeks or a month or something. It doesn't hit the headlines. So,
Right.
is there anything recent that I missed with the Kennedy assassination, just to see if you can bring me up to speed? Some new discoveries, like the two women that were mentioned in chat, one in red, one in black. Were those a signal for
Well,
the?
Ghost X was the one that said Jackie was smiling, and I didn't see the other comment.
Okay, it would be great to look at like that one video or something that you can actually see that in. You do
Mm-hmm.
a frame by frame, and it's like, whoa, there she is. She has that little smile, like she saw somebody on the sidewalk. We're on. It's a go, and just that half of a second smile, and then she takes care of business. If that's what happened, that would be wow. Why would somebody give somebody else a
So,
look
are you
like?
thinking that she kind of seen the person over in the grassy knoll, and that's why she smiled?
Could be. So it's all what conjecture, I guess.
Because
And
right after she smiled, then that's when he got shot in the throat, right?
now I
And
can't
he
say
was
that. That's a
shot in
good.
the throat,
Yeah,
not from the back. He was shot from the front, not the back. Both times he was shot from the front, away from the book depository.
yeah. I watched that head movement many times.
Mm-hmm.
The first impact, and then the second one. You can see that there were two total different impacts. Not with the what's the name of the report that said there was the one magic bullet thing.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. But
The report
supposedly the
they think
first shot was a shellfish toxin in his
that's
throat.
what you're talking about, under the chin or something,
In his throat.
in the throat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't run into that. I ran into a blueprint, a very specially made um, pistol, like a hand rifle, not a full length rifle, but a very precise pistol from that era. This was years ago, and I wish I could find that data again. I think there was only two of them made,
Hmm.
and
Odd.
it was like a high velocity um, military snipers type of round that was used, like an explosive round. The way it's built for the once it impacts its target, where it's meant not to just pass through something, but to go into something and create an air cavity and expand outward under pressure, and to make as much damage to the muscle tissue as possible. So hunting bullets, they're designed very specifically to do certain things, and one of them is cavitation. That's a big issue, not just the bullet, the grain weight of a bullet. But like the Nosler boat tails were one of the first ones that I did all the um, flight characteristics and expansion characteristics on for rifles for hunting. And then other ones, you look at pistol rounds, and they carry certain weights, and they also have hollow points and stuff. So there's a big science in how a bullet is used. And
Oh yeah.
this one incident was this was designed 60 years ago or more, and there were only two of them made, and it had something to do with a location in that underground kind of tunnel that they could drive through near there.
Under
Like,
underground tunnel where?
well, there's a place where the vehicles can drive underneath a section of roadway down around the corner a little bit. So I was there once.
Okay.
I'd like to go back. I didn't know what to look for when I was there,
Well, now you do.
but
Mm-hmm.
some underground access of some sort, that's apparently where the multiple shooter platforms were, and that was one gun used, or maybe it was staged down there because they searched the area, and then after
So
it searched, then something is waiting for the operator to come use it.
Do you actually have that gun in?
I had the blueprints for it, or photographs of the blueprints,
Ah, okay.
5 or 6 years ago or more. So it'd be nearly impossible for me to try and relocate them. But that's just another piece of the puzzle. And we know about the drainage grate on the side of the street. I think it's the south side
The
or the
what?
right, the drainage grate down below the sidewalk that was open, and there was potential for somebody to be there. Not just the grassy knoll, which is across the street from the drainage grate. That
Huh.
would be somebody below the sidewalk
Right.
looking up. So there were apparently multiple vantage points. And if you had a half a dozen people at vantage points, you might call out, I want, A and C to do the job instead of A and B, or all the different locations. So in the moment, you can pick and choose whichever operator you wanted, or multiple operators, that's going to be your best potential. It's like boom, boom. You're going to use those two people when you've got a half a dozen sites covered. So that's also conjecture. There's multiple statements of witnesses of saying, I saw something here, I saw a flash there, I heard a sound here. The recordings that sound like a double shot at the same time.
What I'm gonna
Yeah.
do is I'm gonna pull up that video it's on my history, and I'm gonna stream it here. Hold on.
Whose video was that?
I'm not- it it's actually Bill Cooper's
Right.
footage, but I'm not sure whose channel it's on.
Okay. Well, you should see it in your history headlines.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me turn the audio down on the other stream a little more. All right. Now I just wanted to get back in chat. Okay. Let's see if anybody has a question for me. I just pick up bits and pieces. I never really studied this, so I don't really have my ideas or perspectives in order. Anyway, it's intriguing. It catches my attention every few years when people bring it up, anniversary dates and whatnot, or something's released in the news. It sparks new interest.
Okay.
So it's almost,
all right. I found it. So you all might want to put on some headphones or some earbuds and turn your volume up. I don't think I've got mine as loud as it can go. So it's kind of an older video. So hold on just a second. Let me screen share. I'm sorry. What were you saying, Doc?
oh, I don't know. I just keep talking to hear the wind blow.
Okay.
I've run across some of the strangest stuff. Here we go. Okay, there's Bill. JFK assassination unmasked. You have a date on that if you do the drop down?
Let's see.
Oh, there it is.
Well,
It says,
that's not the original date though. I'm not sure. I would
no,
have
but
to
at least when this copy was posted, somebody can look. Okay.
Hold on. Uh,
This is just if somebody else wants to go, oh yeah, that was so and so's channel, in June 2014. They can go back and look at it.
well, no, he was killed in 2001, so it was before then.
No, but whoever's mirroring it or whatever, reposting
Right.
it.
Right.
This copy right here.
All right. Okay, you might want to mute yourself.
Oh, okay.
The Japanese computer analyzed the film. They agreed William Greer shot President Kennedy. No doubt about it. In fact, I woke up a whole nation, and that's what I set out to do. Only it's the wrong nation. I woke up Japan. They played that tape over and over again during prime time. The whole Japanese nation knows now who shot President Kennedy. They sent me back a color copy. Now, the color copy is better, much better than Dallas Revisited. But it's still not the best. But one thing that will help you, the act is circled and they outlined what they found by computer analysis. So you're going to be able to see it a lot better this time around. Remember, keep your eyes on the driver.
一発目の発射された直後、画面右端の運転手が振り向き、肩越しにピストルで撃つのが見える。画面の右端に見える運転手の動作に注意するとわかる。ハンドルを握った右腕越しに左手でピストルを突き出している。もう一度見てみよう。まもなく運転手の頭が後ろを振り向くと同時に肩のところに白く光るピストルが出てくるのが見える。今、後ろを振り向く。同じシーンを何度か繰り返してみるとよくわかる。
I know that now a lot more of you have seen it. A lot more that saw it when you watched the original black and white Dallas Revisited at the beginning of this videotape. And I bet there's some wet eyes out there, probably gone into the Kleenex box or into your pocket for a handkerchief. Don't be ashamed and don't be embarrassed. Never fails to bring a lump up in my throat. And for the first couple of years that I showed these tapes, I had tears in my eyes too. It's a very emotional experience. I've been trying to wake up America for 4 years. I'm making some progress, not enough. A lot of people have severely criticized me because I didn't have evidence about the gun, and I didn't have evidence about the shellfish toxin. In fact, people told me that the CIA had never engaged in assassinations. If they had just been aware of the House Select Committee on Assassinations, which investigated this very subject and this very assassination in 1976, they would know that that's not true. For it's in the archives of the film of those hearings that we find reference to the gun, photographs of the gun, film of the gun, reference to the shellfish toxin, but still no proof of the toxin. Until we watched a show on television, on public broadcast station, one night here recently, called Secret Intelligence. And in that film, it showed a PhD doctor, Hamill, his name, explaining and showing where and how they manufactured the shellfish toxin to be used in assassinations at Fort Detrick, Maryland, under the supervision and control of the Central Intelligence Agency. Now you're going to see those two clips. These two clips came to me originally from a research team of Colonel Keith Ranch. That's an honorary title, by the way, given by me for the outstanding work that he's done in helping us unravel this mystery, the mysteries. And Gordon Davis. Now, the copies they sent us weren't too good, so we kept searching. We found better copies than that, and that's what you're going to see. Now you're going to see the gun, and you're going to see proof that they used shellfish toxin, and that the CIA had both of these in their possession.
We have seen today the dark side of those activities for many Americans who were not even suspected of crime, were not only spied upon, but they were harassed, they were discredited, and at times endangered. Frank Church headed a Senate committee probing the intelligence community. Church took an open approach that some of his colleagues questioned.
Where does the public's right to be secure override the public's right to know about something? Because in informing the public on a very sensitive matter, you're also informing the potential enemies of the United States. So I think you run into a philosophic conflict there. And I err on the side of protecting the security of the people.
For 30 years, Congress had turned a blind eye to intelligence. Now senators competed for the national spotlight as the intelligence hearings went public.
Every television camera in town was there, and it was really cranked up for a great show. I was told to bring this gun that we had developed and never used on people. My counsel, a very splendid guy who was with me, he said, "Look, don't you get near that thing. If it has to be handled, I will handle it."
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for, we have indeed, for killing people? Don't point it at me.
Mr. Colby was supposed to bring this gun up to Mr. Church. But seated next to him was the ranking Republican, Barry Goldwater. And Barry reached out and grabbed the gun and held it like this and got the picture that day. Because it was in every picture in the United States and maybe around the world, every front page. And the next day I confronted Goldwater. I said, "Barry, did you know you were going to get your picture in the paper by taking the gun?" He said, "Yes, I did." And I said, "You took the gun away from the chairman." He said, "I know I did." I said, "Where'd you learn that trick from?" He said, "Hubert Humphrey." And it worked.
While senators clamored for photo opportunities, Colby devised a strategy to save his agency.
If you try to hide every possible imperfection, it'll blow up in your face and you'll be worse off. Whereas if you can control it and be responsive and give them an honest feeling of what the whole thing is about, then I think you can survive one of these things.
You've heard of the doctrine of plausible deniability.
Yes, and I've rejected it now, Senator. I say that we cannot depend upon that anymore.
So you don't find the work of this committee unwelcome?
No, I do not. As I've said to the chairman, I welcome the chance to try to describe to the American people what intelligence is really about today. It is an opportunity to show how we Americans have modernized the whole concept of intelligence.
Colby's decision to cooperate was unpopular with some former CIA leaders who tried to hold on to the agency's secrets.
You were specifically asked about shellfish toxins and shellfish poison. You say it's inconceivable that a secret intelligence arm of the government has to comply with all the overt orders of the government. Is that an accurate quote or not an accurate quote? Well, if it's accurate, it shouldn't have been said.
Well, now, looks like we're on plausible denial again, is all I can say here, Mr. Chairman.
Well, you're never entirely sure because, after all, many of the people in the CIA have been trained to lie. That's their job, to spread propaganda overseas. Not that all of our propaganda are lies. In fact, most of it is an effort to reinforce the truth of what America stands for. But some of the propaganda is lies. So you're dealing with people here who have been trained to mislead when they need to. But all you can do, and all we did, was to ask as many people, as many questions as we possibly could, and when we found contradictions, to pursue those contradictions by asking yet more people.
If one has in one's possession or under one's control bacteriological or chemical weapons, they can be used both defensively and offensively.
And by use offensively, we mean to include killing people. Is that right?
Well, they have the capacity to kill people if they were used in that way.
Unrestrained, illegal, secret, intimidation, and harassment
of the essential ability of Americans to participate freely in American political life shall never happen again.
And suddenly it all began to roll out. The IRS was targeting thousands of Americans for tax investigations in order to chill activity on their part that they didn't like. The U.S. Army was conducting surveillance of civilians and civilian life. There was a whole pattern of this running throughout government, and it was, of course, what you saw, what was going on. It was a shock. We saw the tip of an iceberg that could have destroyed American liberty.
Methods for assassinating Castro already existed. This is Fort Detrick, Maryland. This once secret facility was home to CIA experiments with drugs like LSD. It was also an armory for the agency's executive action capability, a program begun under the Eisenhower administration for disposing of unwanted foreign leaders. Some of the plots called for lethal poisons that were manufactured here. Dr. Everett Hennell, a microbiologist at Fort Detrick for 3 decades, worked in association with the CIA.
These are what we call Class 3 cabinet systems. They're gas-tight systems for working with almost complete safety with any infectious diseases, toxins, things such as the shellfish toxin. They're very toxic indeed, particularly when highly purified. And I understand that these could be placed on steel needles and fired with air guns into an animal and induce death almost immediately. So that they were apparently a very effective, or could be a very effective type of covert weapon.
But the real targets of these deadly drugs were not animals.
Well, now that you've seen the gun, and now that you know that the shellfish toxin did exist, and that this weapon was capable of firing it in pellets or on needles and killing animals and people, things take a more sinister turn. Bill Cooper's not quite as crazy as everyone thought he was in the beginning. I'll show you the best copy that we have of the Zapruder film. Crystal clear, sharp color. You can see everything that happens in that automobile and around it. Clear as a bell. Before we show you that film, we're going to show you a picture of Lee Harvey Oswald standing in the doorway of the school book depository building on the ground floor. And I'm going to tell you that the Warren Commission and the 1976 House Select Committee on Assassinations both knew about this photograph and rejected it. I'm going to show you a picture of Oswald in custody wearing the exact same clothes. Exactly. No difference whatsoever. Now, because there are some out there who claim that the man standing in the doorway was a man named Lovelace or Lovelady, we did body measurement proportion comparison analysis between the man in the doorway and Lee Harvey Oswald in captivity. There is no doubt whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen, that the man in the doorway is Lee Harvey Oswald. Examine the photographs, and you judge for yourself.
Yep, sure does look like him.
That's the same photo, but I had a much cleaner image.
Do you still have the photo?
That's the one that was like 5-6 years ago when I got it. I have no idea where it is.
There's the other one.
I'm wearing the same clothes, just like Cooper said.
Wow. I'm really worried about James. He hasn't answered any of my messages or anything. And like I said, he was 10 minutes away from home driving.
The only thing you've got left to see.
I said you got to put a GPS on his phone and
Yeah.
track him. Everybody else is. That was supposed to be a joke.
ZipRecruiter film that I'm now going to show you. It's going to knock your socks off, and it's going to prove to you once and for all that William Greer did shoot President Kennedy in Dallas. And for those of you who always thought that the weapon was a reflection of the sun on Agent Kellerman's head, I want you to notice that in this film, the barrel of the gun sticks out past the back of Kellerman's head by at least 2, maybe 3 inches. There is no doubt it is not a reflection. It is a weapon. William Greer did shoot the president. You can see him bring that weapon up across his chest, turn completely around in the seat, and fire at point-blank range as he's facing directly at the president. Then you can see him bring that weapon back down across his chest. You'll see him hump down, grab the steering wheel, as Agent Kellerman humps down also. And then and only then does the car speed out of the kill zone. You must understand when you watch this film, ladies and gentlemen, that these are trained Secret Service agents. The only people in that car who did what they were supposed to do was Governor and Mrs. Connolly. They got down on the floor. The driver of the car was not supposed to turn around, nor was he supposed to draw a weapon. He was supposed to get that car out of the kill zone as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The agent in the front seat was supposed to draw his gun, attempt to discover the assassins, and return fire. Neither one of those two men did what they were trained to do. Watch now with your own eyes. And remember, if you think that William Greer drew a
Hello?
pistol and turned around and pointed at the
Yeah.
president because he heard
Where
shots,
you been, honey?
you also have to understand that it's the job of any other Secret Service man
Okay.
who sees anyone
Bye.
pointing a pistol at the president. No, William Greer killed John F. Kennedy. And here's the proof.
Okay, I'm gonna pause this. James just called. He's getting ready to come in. So I want him to see this. So thankfully he's okay. So I was really worried about him. But
Okay, Kim, I'm gonna hop out of here. I don't really have
Okay.
anything else to say about Kennedy. The fire information, a lot of it is not even showing up here in Northern California. If we get on that
Really?
subject again,
What do you
I'll
mean?
join. It's not widespread. It's people know about it, but they don't know the intensity of it. That it's moved up into Santa Barbara County. This is amazing. It's unbelievable. It's like it was up here. I mean, I had those black leaves blowing into my pasture.
Right.
If I hadn't mowed the place, who knows? I could have gone up. But we also have more reports on the blue light or green light, the DEW, directed energy weapons, DEW, and stuff like that. I saw another video popped up tonight. I didn't get a chance to view it. So there are people still looking into it, but I'm also getting the county feeds from the county and the sheriffs and the fire departments, and nobody mentions that. Everybody's playing along with help the heroes, thank the heroes, put on Christmas benefits. So of course it's not publicized.
Wow.
So we know it's part of the not the PRMD, it's the what is it? It's a redevelopment agency area up here mapped out a year and a half ago.
Oh wow.
And it's just a coincidence that it burned exactly on the lines in a lot of places that they wanted to have redeveloped into stack and pack housing, high density housing, and to get people away from wildlands. In Southern California, I took a larger picture of all these fires, and I went, son of a gun, it's like a horseshoe shape kind of wrapping around. And it was to the outskirts of each one of these fires were wilderness areas. So they want to reclaim wilderness and reduce the human impact on them as a larger, and that means condensing population more, not letting people move out into the rural areas. So it's a whole nother ball of wax. It's like, it's more than just monetary. It gets
Well,
into social engineering kind of.
I thought it was planned when I first seen the photos of all the houses and all the white ash.
Yeah, and we talk about the aluminum impregnation of so many things. Is that James? Okay. We
Yeah.
can pick this up later. Hey, welcome back, James. All right, I'm going to pop out.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Doc.
All right, later.
Have a good one, honey. Okay, so like you had me and the whole chat like scared. I was like, I was talking to him and he was driving, so I don't even know if he made it home.
Oh no, I'm an idiot.
Okay, so what we're watching right now is the video that Cooper released on the assassination of Clinton Kennedy JFK, and it actually shows the driver shooting him. So I wanted to make sure that you've seen this. So let me go back and make it full screen. And all right.
Because he heard shots. You also have to understand that it's the job of any other Secret Service man who sees anyone pointing a pistol at the president to shoot him on the spot. No, William Greer killed John F. Kennedy. And here's the proof.
Watch the driver. See that gun over his shoulder? Did you see that, James?
Yeah, I've checked this out. But I mean, really, we know that there was a coup this day. This is like one of the pivotal days in history. This is when this cabal took over.
Right.
And the cabal that we're still dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they had all kinds of people. I mean, we know that there was other people other than the driver. So, you know, it really doesn't get us that far because we know he was killed. These people are either dead or on their last few years. And what we're doing now is legendary.
Right.
I mean, for people, see, it's crazy because we've all been mind controlled for the TV. You know, I was talking with somebody, I forget who it was, but it was somebody older, and all the crap that I've told them throughout the years, all coming true or has came true. Yet they have to wait till the TV tells them, and they can't accept that the TV will lie to them. It's like amazing.
I'm gonna rewind.
Especially older people. Is Bernie here?
No, he's in the chat.
What up, Bernie? I saw that he called, and I was like, Bernie called me?
Yeah, I told him to call you to check on you.
Bro, why doesn't Bernie come in the damn chat thing here?
Hold on. We'll send him a link in the Hangouts. Copy and send it to him.
You haven't sent him one?
No.
You're lame. Because you know I'm not good at this, so.
Whatever.
No, it's your damn thing.
Nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, nah. Here, play my video. Play my video, Lasers from the Sky, that I just did.
Okay. Hold on. I want to watch this real quick while it's on slow-mo.
So what do I have to do?
Just send him a link.
Go to the channel?
Just go to your Hangout and copy the link and then send it to him in another Hangout. Well, hold on just a second. I'll send him one.
Chris K. Small there. There, it's there. It's there, Bernie. So make sure you go to it because that was a hassle. Just kidding, but it was.
Sure. He just has kind of been on a hiatus.
Yeah, I know about his hiatus. Send it to Maps instead. Dude, can I just chill out, dude? Am I allowed to just chill? I don't like to do all this. That's why I'm asking you to come in, bro. You're way better at it than me. Maps. There, send it to Maps. Nobody asked me to do any more of this crap. I don't like doing it. And Bernie, that's weird, by the way. You're just kind of weird. I don't know what's with you, but that's just weird. Are you going to play the thing? Oh, because I want you to play a couple of them. So, okay, we got this.
Okay, hold on. Let me send the links to Maps because you don't want to do it.
I sent them all.
Okay. You sent all the links.
Yes.
Okay. Chill, dude. Calm down. Calm down, James. I love you. Okay. Which channel? Your main one?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened to my search bar? Daggone.
So we don't have proof of this, but people were asking for proof in the Santa Rosa.
Directed energy attack. 3 separate recordings of directed energy weapon lasers using
Yeah, there's hella fucking cars over there, dude.
Okay, see it?
Whoa!
It'll do it again. It'll do it again.
Hey folks, welcome to another video from a plane.
There it is.
So here's more proof positive. Blue laser lights, which people are reporting. We've got now at least 3 separate cell phone smart cameras identifying blue lasers on video.
There it is.
1 from a helicopter and 2 from handheld cameras, as you can see right here. This is proof positive. We're going to take this to the fire departments. We're meeting with fire people now. They know something was wrong, and they've seen the videos and all the directed energy comments, and they want to learn more. So we're taking this to them. You can take this video as well. We also have the Santa Rosa Planning Department.
Wow.
2006.
Yep.
The exact roadmap.
Not just one phone either. Not just one camera.
Planning, rezoning for Agenda 21, stack 'em and pack 'em, green design, walking, no fireplaces kind of communities with density increases over 100%, planned on October 7th, 2 days before the fires. We have city council members and now the Sonoma Media Design Group, or Sonoma Media Group and the Sonoma Design Group. The Sonoma Design Group is the group and the Sonoma Design Group, 100% planned on October 7th, 2 days before the fires. We have
you want to pause it right there?
And now the Sonoma Media Design.
Pause it where the laser. Oh yeah, right here. So there's different lasers. There's designators, and then they change once it's get designated, and all kinds of stuff. Basically, what color we saw, and it gets into this. It shows it exactly. It has a designator, and then it gets into this blue-green one, which is like right there. There was also a yellow one. I'm not sure, if it was different planes, had different, colors, or I don't know exactly what, but they were not all. They all seemed, the majority seemed to be blue. And what's crazy is people were reporting blue lightning, and they didn't know what the hell it was. And the reason why I'm doing this is because freaking right now, it seems like they're doing this with all of California. They're just burning it to the ground. And I'm talking about, I woke up this morning coughing, choking, sneezing. I mean, the amount of crap that's in the air is unbelievable.
How close are these fires to you specifically?
15 minutes away.
Wow.
I used to live right there. I used to live right up on the other mountain off of Mulholland. So
did you hear about Caitlyn Jenner's house?
No.
The roof literally came off of her house, like the air pulled off her house, and her dog too. The dog's okay though.
That's the Wizard of Oz.
Huh?
Isn't that the same story from the Wizard of Oz?
Sounds exactly like the Wizard of Oz. That sounds like true to me.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the wicked witch, she witch of the West.
Witch.
Don't you find that funny though? It's almost like a mocking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like an unlikely story to begin with.
It's like a mocking, and also, is that you? I don't see you there, Bernie. But hey,
we're in the same room.
Oh, and also, what's crazy is now, do you notice how they're like really pumping up the Santa Ana winds and all this crap? Like
the Diablo winds.
Yeah, they're overly doing it. Let me tell you something. I've lived in LA my whole life. Everybody knows when the Santa Anas are here because it's hot. It's dry, hot winds everywhere. It's not freezing cold like it is now. When you're right in the fire, there's obviously crazy winds. It seems like the fire puts out its own microclimate. In Santa Rosa, all of a sudden it was just like regular whatever, and then all of a sudden, if you keep playing the video, it shows how there's a huge spike in winds. But they're trying to normalize this on the mainstream media, and they're going to extreme lengths. As soon as you said Caitlyn Jenner, I said she's going to be part of the PSYOP. Somehow.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do too with not just the Agenda 21 thing, but like the fact that cannabis is going to be legal in 2018, and they have this bill up right now for the 1 acre bill. I don't know if you guys know about that, but people are trying to, like, local cannabis farmers are trying to have a bill passed where like these corporate people who can come in once it's recreational they're trying to have a bill passed so that these corporate people can only have 1 acre per person, so that they don't just like buy up massive amounts of land and just turn like it into like a county of Marlboro weed or whatever. But yeah, no, they're actively just trying to like clear the land so that they can start doing whatever the fuck they want to start doing.
Wow.
Well, and the marijuana fits into this nicely because I've been screeching my brains out about this marijuana being genetically modified, and they're taking all the good stuff out. They're making it very, very potent. They're taking all the beneficial stuff out of the medicinal marijuana or the marijuana, whatever, and they're making it to where it's like another drug, and it literally makes people zombie. People don't even laugh anymore off this genetically modified weed. Now there's this new thing for a couple years now, probably ever since genetically modified weed was introduced, that people are screaming and vomiting. I've never heard that with fucking, excuse my language. I've never heard that with weed. And now all of a sudden you have this scromiting epidemics everywhere. People going, and it's like really horrible too. Really horrible. People, they get like this weird stomach thing. They have to go to the bathroom, and then they start throwing up, and then they start screaming. It's probably has to do with genetically altered stuff. And guess who's involved? None other than Soros.
Well, what do you know?
That almost sounds like everything that you go through when you're on bath salts.
Yeah, it sounds like a designer drug like K2 or whatever they got the kids smoking nowadays.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like marijuana, whatever they're giving these cats.
And I know too that they're like definitely hyping up a lot of like they're specifically making the sativa much stronger than usual, like 97% THC. You smoke 97% THC sativa, anybody's gonna lose their mind. You're gonna fucking freak the fuck out.
Right, and there's no point.
Yeah, it's not medicinal. There's like no reason. Like that kind of weed doesn't exist in nature for a reason.
Right.
How come I can't see Bernie Trump?
It's because he came up to see a show, so he's actually in my house.
I'm in the house.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
we're both talking on my computer.
Do I sound far away?
No, it sounds perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's so fortunate that like everybody's in the house right now because like we haven't done this in a long time.
I know, right?
We were just talking about that too.
It's been forever.
Yeah, it's funny how things work out because we were just talking about that, and I just realized that you were live.
So these lasers, now what they're doing is they're helping pinpoint where the missiles need to drop, correct? That's exactly what they're doing.
No, the lasers ignite the fires, and I also think that they're in combination with the chemtrails. So,
yeah, well, it goes all back to there's actually a higher side chat, and I'm not done, but it's the girl that's on it is actually Elena Freeland.
Oh yeah, that's real. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Talks about how basically the lower atmosphere, it's all ionized and it's all electricized. Like it's all, and they use that. The military uses that for basically, what is it called when you have everything covered? Complete dominance, situational dominance, or something like that. I forget, but it's basically. They use it to where they have it. It's all dominated, and basically you have. I mean, this goes into Morgellons because basically you have all these micro fine dust that's getting into the plants and the humans and the animals and everything, and they use that in conjunction to make everything like an antenna. And you're right. It's all being used, and guess what else is being used in conjunction with it? These new quote-unquote 5G setups. 5G is nothing more than millimeter wave technology, which is a very, it used to be a top secret weapon, and now they're putting it under. Oh, you guys gotta mute it. And it used to be a top secret weapons program, and now they're doing it under the guise of like, oh, AT&T wants you to have faster upload speeds. BS. BS. This can be used in conjunction, just like Nexrads and stuff like that, where they use all of them in conjunction with each other, and it's like a big weapon system, like a grid weapon system, and they could be used to ionize and do things, or do whatever it takes. Is there's steps to doing it, and then you lay down the plasma or the laser, which comes in, and I'm not sure of all the steps and how it does it, but when all of a sudden what it can do is then it starts igniting, it starts creating its own weather pattern. It starts to create like really gnarly winds. So it's like a complete weapon. I mean, you listen to them talk about how they could do this on the battlefield, and it's all well and good, but then you realize the freaking battlefield is here at home.
Doc wants to know, James, if you live near him.
I don't know where he lives.
Doc, what part of Cali do you live in? He's in the chat. Hold on. Yeah, and they're saying that this, just like in the chat there, Francisco D. Nostromo said that oh no, I'm sorry. Texan Tom said he's been smoking weed for 25 years. He's had bad spine, and he said he doesn't like the state stuff. It feels like speed, not weed. He said he's 15 minutes from Santa Rosa.
Yeah, that's up north. I'm at the beach in LA.
So how far away is that from you?
Santa Rosa, a couple hours.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to?
Hey, that guy should watch. Doc was his name. He should watch a guy named Plain Truth, and that dude is there living in Santa Rosa, and yeah, he caught all this. He's going up. He's like formulated like a group, and they're all like talking to the fire departments, and they're basically educating them on all this stuff, like because the fire department knew something was up. They know what levels burn at, and they know what wood burns at. They know what metal burns at. They know what glass burns at. And they were saying, as far as the Santa Rosa fire, there was something weird going on. The reason why I'm bringing this up now during this fire is because I believe that these are the same things. I believe that they might be trying. I believe maybe Santa Rosa was a test to bring it down here. I mean, they brought it down far into Los Angeles. And what they're doing is they're taking all the high-end real estate first. It's crazy what they're doing right now.
You want me to go ahead and finish playing this? I gotta go use the ladies' room.
Yeah, go ahead and finish playing it. It's really good. It's only like this long.
Okay.
Sonoma Media Group and the Sonoma Design Group. The Sonoma Design Group is the laser weapon companies, organizations, and the Sonoma Media investments we'll get into that own the newspapers around here with Democratic lobbyist connections and all sorts of nefarious types involved.
Here's more.
Into that in the next video, but I want to get this laser out, folks. This is what's the smoking gun, the smoking laser. Here it is right here. So proof positive. Let's spread the word, get it around, and let's stop this madness by education. First, it always starts with education. So please share.
10,000 acres of wooded residential land were scorched in an instant when a laser cannon
RoboCop
defense peace platform misfired today during routine startup tests. Casey?
Yes, it was a day of mourning for the families of 113 people known dead at this hour. Among them, 2 former United States presidents who had retired in the Santa Barbara area. A day of mourning for a country.
So I've been collecting comments from people, from readers, putting in what they saw in the area and documenting it. And we'll be presenting this to the fire departments and appropriate agencies. But let me just show you this list. And I just highlighted the word blue. And you can see all the blue flashes, blue laser light, really bright blue, as you'll see in a minute from this Take a Walk. He actually filmed the flashes, and we have other people doing the same. But here, blue flashes, blue lasers, nothing I've ever seen before. And it goes down. And in Potter Valley, I saw blue streaks like flares. I live in Santa Rosa, west of 3rd, and I saw blue light. I live in Santa Rosa, Indian Valley, I saw blue lightning. And it continues on. I have pages and pages of this, folks. And Sue Nami says, sacrifice all right. My cousin in Miami saw the blue lights coming down from the sky as well, right in the thick of it. I was speaking with her when she saw them. Firefighters say to when you explained about the aluminum from chemtrails. So this was posted the day after the fire, supercharged by powerful winds whipped through Napa, Sonoma, and Mendocino, killing at least 10 people. Starting in the middle of the night, hopscotched across neighborhoods, raced across fields, jumped freeways, gusts up to 70 miles an hour, walls of flames nearly 100 feet high, throwing embers ahead like hot fingers into strip malls and subdivisions. Many people who fled the surge had enough time to grab car keys, perhaps a bet, not much more. All right, here's a chart from the San Francisco Chronicle of the wind.
Look right here.
There was no wind. I was here this day in the Santa Rosa area. We got evacuated twice. And all of a sudden, about 10 o'clock, the wind started swirling. But before that, in my comments, there was no wind. The storm came out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden, it gusts up to 80 miles an hour. And then within 2-3 hours, it was completely back to normal again. Nothing normal. Let's take a look again at the Madeira fire last year caught in Portugal. And look at the vortex, folks. Look at the spinning winds that create the vortex energy, to create the kinetic energy for the plasma weapon beam to focus its energy, directed energy, electromagnetic pulsing energy. But look at the vortex. Look at the swirling winds, which everybody here felt and everybody here commented about. And at night, they turn into blue flashes. That's what we all saw. This was genocide. This was murder. This was an attack on U.S. soil. We need to wake up, folks. We need to wake up right now. And here we see the comments from Take a Walk talking about the blue flashes that they recorded on their camera here, which will be coming up here in a second. But again, this was coming from above. These were directed energy weapons. They were torching and murdering people in their homes, fried in their homes. The body count, we will not know the true body count ever. They will never give it to us. But there's many, many people that perished in their homes, just like in the Hurricane Harvey. The floods came in the middle of the night. Both started about 1-2 a.m. They didn't have a chance. So here, Take a Walk has the moon, and you'll see the blue, the flash. There it is. See the flash? There it was. This is another cell phone recorded as well. There's another beam right there from a cell phone recorded. Prima facie evidence, folks. Here it is. Trees.
That is the craziest.
Ever seen trees burn like this?
Seen.
No one has.
It's hollowed out the tree.
On the inside, not on the outside.
The fire and
how do trees burn from the inside and not on the
straight
outside?
up the middle of the tree.
It had to be directed energy weapons, folks. They torched the place with thousands and thousands of degrees, targeted certain areas, certain people, certain homes, certain businesses. Agenda 21, weather war terrorism.
That is nuts.
That was a plain truth, and this is Truth Sec.
We are Anonymous Truth Sec. Today we will be talking about the fires that have and still are devastating California. Let us take a look at that situation before moving any further.
Breaking news, the state of emergency in California, where 12 wildfires are burning right now. One in particular, the so-called Valley Fire, is fierce, fast-moving, and fatal. And tonight, we've got the stunning images and the survivors, both human and animal. Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
The fire swept down the valley with apocalyptic fury. Flames as high as skyscrapers hopscotching the canopies, raining flaming terror. Families fleeing, navigating this hellish landscape. Cinders swirling in the air. 23,000 people displaced in Northern California.
You guys pretty tired?
We're getting there. Yeah, all our resources have been going at it for about a month and a half.
Like others out here, selective about what they could say.
Firefighters are letting this burn. They're not concerned with this kind of grass fire. Their main concern right now, because they're so overwhelmed, is protecting homes and people.
The Valley Fire, 100 miles north of San Francisco, threatening Napa County, fueled by dry conditions and 40-mile-per-hour winds, exploded from a small fire over the weekend to a 60,000-square-acre monster. These time-lapse videos capture the panicked exodus. Watch as this driver struggles to find his way out. Fire everywhere he turns. You can hear the fire's jet engine roaring. Others are horrified by those ferocious flames and smoke.
Now, take a look at the aftermath.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had mommy duty too.
Here's what you'll see during a directed energy attack. 3 separate recordings of directed energy weapon lasers using For some reason, Google took out my audio and just put the same audio from the beginning. But whatever.
Hey folks, welcome to another video from plaintruth.info. Here's more proof positive.
All right, can you go to the end, please?
Now at least,
or just speed it up a little bit, because that's drone footage I wanted to show. Yeah, just go a little bit. Yeah, okay. So this is what happened. Okay, this is some of the firefighters were really questioning how the hell the fires were able to do this. Natural fires cannot do this, and they were doing this, and basically they were way hotter than natural fires. Scoot it up a little bit more. All right, there. So that right there, that's the culprit right there. And these are fitted on the ends of planes or on the tip, the nose of planes, or at the ends of planes. I believe that one's on the nose of a plane. And I show at the end, there's a footage from like the military of that in action. So it says, what type of forest fires leave trees intact but vaporize homes without a trace? Appliances, granite, countertops, toilets, textiles, stonework, etc. Now, they have this technology, and it reminds me of 9/11, because remember in 9/11,
right,
the toasty cars, and it was very specific about what was burning. Like paper would not be touched, yet certain things on cars would be, but other stuff wasn't. it gives me that same feeling. So I don't believe I know everything that's going on with the types and the way that they have, but I believe it is being inserted with a laser. Now, what comes, like, you know, what goes on, what kind of energy they are directing with the laser, I'm not sure, because this is something that we've never seen, like something, it's just non-natural. And see, the intelligence agencies recently announced publicly that they've been testing directed energy weapons mounted to aircraft.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if the chemtrails had something to do with this as well. Makes you wonder.
Yeah, just if you go to the end, it'll. So that's a before and after. Yeah, go to that. That's a before and after of Santa Rosa. Completely. I mean, it's basically like a nuclear bomb without the nuclear bomb. They get everything they want, and it also fits into their doctrine about leaving the trees and plants alone. And it also ties into the Bible because it says they were tormented in the end days, but the plants and trees were left alone or something like that, doesn't it, Kay?
Well, because the plants and trees, they're green, so they're not going to burn. See what I'm saying?
Not really.
Well, if it's green, if it's alive, it's harder for it to burn. Just like firewood. You know, you make sure the firewood is dead basically before you burn it. On a live tree with green, you know, green grass and stuff, it's harder for it to catch fire.
Yeah, but if you have the type of temperatures we're dealing with here that melts steel and melts rims of cars, that's going to go ahead and char trees.
Right, and it looks like it did.
Well, we're not talking about these. There's other photo. This is just a drone. Still,
okay.
Yeah. But watch the airborne laser program.
You want me to play it?
Yeah.
Good morning for the families of 113 people known dead at this hour. Among them, 2 former United States presidents who had retired in the Santa Barbara area. A day of mourning for a country.
So I've been collecting comments from people, from readers, putting in what they saw in the area and documenting it, and we'll be presenting this to the fire departments and appropriate agencies. But let me just show you this list, and I just highlighted the word blue, and you can see all the blue flashes, blue laser light, really bright blue, as you'll see in a minute from this Take a Walk. He actually filmed the flashes, and we have other people doing the same. But here, blue flashes, blue lasers, nothing I've ever seen before. And it goes down. And in Potter Valley, I saw blue streaks like flares. I live in Santa Rosa, west of 3rd, and I saw blue light. I live in Santa Rosa, Indian Valley, I saw blue lightning. And it continues on. I have pages and pages of this, folks.
So they show this as far as missiles, you know, but it's...
In 2007, ABL successfully demonstrated one of its most challenging tasks: illuminating, tracking, and propagating an atmospherically compensated beam against a distant target. The system demonstrated that it could illuminate the target with a low-power track illuminator laser, TIL. The return of the TIL beam off the target is then used to achieve a high-precision track and the rapid designation of an aim point for the high-power laser. Once precision track of the target is established, the beacon illuminator laser, or BIL, measures the wavefront distortion caused by the intervening atmosphere.
Didn't mean to interrupt, but somebody needs to get like a P900 and be recording to see if they can see something up in the sky when it's shooting this. I'm sure that that's like the least of their worries at the moment, but somebody needs to catch this going on.
Are applied to the high-power beam optics, which in an actual engagement would result in more than lethal energy deposited on the target. Repeated multiple times with a substitute low-power laser at the same wavelength as the larger chemical laser, each engagement required only seconds. Had the high-power laser been on board, a missile threat would have been stopped cold,
suffering catastrophic damage. With the high-power laser tested on the ground and the beam control and battle management systems tested in the air, ABL is now on a single high-power integration path, culminating in a missile shootdown.
And then pause it. It's coming up right here. Pause it. All right, so these are witness testimonies. Jason, an acquaintance of mine, told me he was driving north on 101 through Pumatuma on Sunday evening at about 10:30 p.m. and noticed a green ball of light racing through the sky to the northeast. The green ball racing through the sky at rocket speed began to turn into a red fireball as it continued on. Then the red fireball disseminated and disappeared into the night sky way. When Jason arrived at his destination, his friends had asked him if he had seen the big fireball in the sky. It's scary not knowing what the cause of these fires could be. Last night around 7 or 8, I was driving home from Yucatan, probably in the Redwood Valley area, when I saw something falling from the sky. At first I figured, a shooting star. But then the light kept going. It turned into a bright emerald green ball shooting downwards into the ground. From my perspective, it looked like it was landing on top of Wiltis, like a mountain or something. I was scared to even continue the drive home, and my first thoughts were it was a huge meteor that I saw. But then I saw nothing else, and I figured it was all fine. I don't know if what I saw may have played a part in these fires, but it sure has shaken me to the core, and I pray for everyone that is affected. Stay safe, everyone. I love you all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oops.
I just wanted to make sure that you saw the culprit, because the culprit really is these balls, these leaves, conjunction with scalar weapons, and you asked about, it all correlates. I believe they're using the chemtrail to get the conductivity in the sky for the laser, for the frequency pulses to be at their peak performance level.
Right.
These scalar waves, also called Tesla waves or Maxwellian waves, are said to be the mechanism of zero-point energy. The basic concept of scalar weapons opposes two powerful scalar waves against each other, creating a hypothetical standing wave, resulting in what they call a scalar bubble between them.
What we need to look up is to see the metals that are in the chemtrails, if there's some kind of chemical reaction between the lasers hitting those metals. Because a laser itself can be catastrophical. But with the chemtrails and all the metals, you would think that would make it even worse.
Well, I know for a fact what makes it worse too is that these chemicals they dump, they get into the trees and they make them like really brittle and ready for fire. They dry them out. They're like a silicate.
Oh yeah. We've had to plant just here. We've had to plant each year 2 apple trees, and we buy them each year. We have to replant them each year, brand new apple trees, because they're just not growing. And it only affects the apple trees for some reason. We have the pear trees, and they're doing just fine. And I don't know what it is with these apple trees, but we have to just keep getting a new tree because they keep dying. It makes no sense.
Could be genetically altered where it only gives you one season of fruit.
I don't know. Well, I mean, these don't even have fruit. These aren't even growing long enough to even have fruit. They usually grow fruit the very next year. But ever since we've planted, like, we had a peach and a nectarine tree that pollinated together the next year. That was fine. The pear trees are doing fine. But the apples have never grown any apples. Now we have a crabapple tree in the front yard and it does fine. But, and I actually think we bought organic apple trees. So I don't know what the deal is. They spray heavily. The other day I got a picture. There were 7 chemtrail planes in the sky all at once, right next to each other. Is there anything else on here you want me to show on the video?
No, that's pretty much the end. Oh, that right there. That's the that's some like Tesla style. That Tesla big, you know, that's like a Wardenclyffe style thing, and that's like basically ushering in some really massive, like I don't know, bubble lightning, or you know, like tubular lightning or something. But it looks pretty cool, right?
What's this say down here? Proof California fire started with heart matches. I know that, isn't that where that guy blew up that tree and he got hurt?
No, it's talking about the microwave cooks the tree from the inside.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's absolutely crazy.
Yep. And then these are the cloud formations of scalar weapons being used. You have that really funky, it basically looks like in the sky frequency, like something you would get, I don't know, like it's like musical, a musical.
Did I lose you? Hello?
We're still here.
Okay. James, your audio is gone, man.
They cut the cord for James again?
I guess so.
Yeah. I don't see. Was he broadcasting or your screen sharing?
He was.
Yeah, I don't
No,
see.
no, I was. And
You
then
were?
his audio just started cutting out.
Oh, so you're the one showing the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just back here. We're having a conversation about different stuff.
So, what are your all's input on this?
I mean, my first reaction, this is my first reaction because I haven't watched any videos about it today. Maps has, but my first reaction was that it resembled a lot. It really resembled what happened on 9/11. If you look up Dr. Judy Wood.
Yeah, we watched all that together, didn't we? Like a bunch of that.
We did. I don't think it was on a live hangout, but we did. And Dr. Judy Wood was talking about directed energy and what's called the Hutchinson effect. And that's what caused a lot of these strange fires and the charred vehicles or the burnt vehicles, toasted vehicles, whatever you want to call them.
There was one news report I seen, and this guy was talking about he had all his camera equipment in his car, and all of that was it basically, you know, he couldn't keep any of it. The only thing that survived the fire from his car was his Bible.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. And I've heard that on many occasions that a Bible will withstand a fire.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that were in 9/11 that there were different objects inside of the vehicles that survived, but the car itself didn't. Like you were talking about the greenery being intact while all the houses burned, and I think it has something to do with the molecular structure of the steel or whatever is encasing the chassis of the building or the structure. Basically, that's what's deteriorating is the structure and everything around it that's surrounded by steel.
Yeah, I think they just harnessed like the frequency at which that stuff resonates and then directs the energy towards that. Like, because if you watch Richie from, like, you were on the Richie from Boston stream earlier,
Yeah.
when he shows the Chandi plates with sand on it, like doing the cymatics and stuff, it's like the
Right.
same idea.
Yeah, that's crazy in itself.
The Hutchinson effect can do other things as well, like levitate objects, move objects, shift them. Like there were a lot of things that were out of place. There were pictures that were taken on 9/11 of the cars, and then a few hours later, there was another picture taken from the same angle or a relatively similar angle, and you could tell that the cars had just moved by themselves, and they were completely incapable of moving because they were all toasted, but they moved.
Wow.
Like they were still mobile?
Yeah, the cars were toasted, but they just moved.
Oh.
Like they moved like 5 or 10 feet.
Oh, I see what
You
you're
know what I
saying,
mean?
for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, James, are you okay?
James in the house?
I think he's trying to figure it out because I saw his double face there for a second.
Yeah, he popped in, he popped out. Live streams aren't too good to James.
Yeah, he gets harassed pretty hard.
Yeah, it used to be me that couldn't put on a live stream for nothing, my audio.
I think that James should try experimenting with the Windows computer and see how it works for him.
Yeah.
Because I know he basically uses that same Mac for everything he does.
Well, ever since I got this new laptop, I haven't had any issues, and especially with this microphone. That HP, oh my gosh, it was awful. Even that Dell I had, yeah.
Yeah. I'm working with a iMac G5, which is a late 2006 model iMac. I'm trying to resurrect that.
Where'd you even get that?
It was gifted to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're not too expensive.
Because I was going to say, like, who sold you that?
Nobody sold it to me. Yeah, it was given to me as a gift, and I used it for about 5 years or so, and then I got a Windows computer, and now I got Logic Pro, and I'm trying to use it for making music and like studio purposes. So I'm trying to resurrect it for that.
That's what's up. Oh, I'm making coffee over here.
What?
She's gonna make coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make my coffee.
She's gonna make some coffee.
Coffee.
Yes. What are you showing? You got anything else? You got anything queued up?
Nope.
No? I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end the stream. It's been going for a little while anyways. James is having technical issues, so I have a birthday party to go to tomorrow at 2, so I can't stay up too much later anyway. So let me check, see who's in the chat, give some shout outs. All right. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. This is the easy way to do it. All right. We have Doc, Mia, Ron, Tessa, Texan Tom. And Big P99 showed up. Hey, man, what's going on?
Also,
Mia,
shout out to Mia and Bob Hammond.
yeah, Bob Hammond, Mia Vengeance. Illusion Shattered was in here earlier.
And I can tell that a lot of people are not happy with my being on hiatus. It's not the holidays. It's just that the nature of this work was putting me in a bad place, and I really needed to clear my head, kind of reevaluate my situation, and come at it from a different point of view or perspective. Because I was just feeling negative constantly, and it wasn't doing me too much good. So I figured I'd take a break and step back. You know, that's not to say I won't be doing any more work in the future. It's just that I kind of feel like I needed to find a refocus or center for my direction. You know, I didn't feel like I was being led to do anything at the time. So if I don't feel like I'm being led, I'm just not going to do anything.
Right. And I don't blame you one bit.
Appreciate that.
Tessa Cunningham and Ryan and C. I'm
Hey, what's up,
inviting.
Ryan?
So, yeah, James.
I don't think he's here.
He popped back in.
James?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on? I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta watch out because if you sometimes with like reading comments and stuff and everything like that, they know this that so basically I thought it was like humans, but the AI bots could be programmed to leave comments like this, and they basically know you. Speaking of like Facebook and social media and everything, they know what will get under your skin or how to approach you or what to say, how to say it. And they do that in the comment section, and it gets a lot of people down. Not just you; it gets a lot of people down. A lot of YouTubers. I've seen this, and there's not really anything you can do other than just pay attention to the good people and kick to the curb the people that are being jerks, because I guarantee you about 40% of them aren't even human.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I try not to be discouraged. I don't think it was that. It's just I don't know. It was just it was a personal thing for me. It wasn't you know, any negative feedback or anything like that. I haven't had anything but a mostly positive experience here and meeting all you guys in the chat and talking to you, Kay and James, and I'm here with Maps and she's awesome. You know, so it's been an amazing experience. I wouldn't take any of it back. It's just I just need to find a new sense of direction. You know, maybe come at it from a different angle or something.
And it's good for everybody to go on a little break and just, you know, take time to get all your thoughts together and just you know, think about what's more important in your life, because this whole YouTube thing can really start to just get to you.
It will mess with your head. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it'll take over your life too if you like let it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's definitely true.
And you know, that's what I've been doing. I haven't made it a priority, you know. If I want to get on here and do something or jump in a chat, you know, I'll do it, but it's not something that I have to constantly be doing like I was. It's like that's all I like pretty much cared about for a long time. And it's really, you know, not only with my family it's done good, but just with everything, with my well-being, with how I feel about myself. You know, it's not good for anybody to just be addicted to something, you know? And that's basically what it is. It can really, really bother you bad. So
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
and then not only that, you know, there's so much drama that goes along with it too. You know, you have to worry about, you know, replying to comments. You know, you got to worry about if people will get upset if you don't reply back, and you know, it's very hard work. It really is.
It is. Yeah, I definitely can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've been too stressed out doing the short amount of decoding that I've done. It doesn't really stress me out or anything like that. Like I said, it's been a positive experience. Just I don't know. Just reading the headlines and looking at it all, and just you know that all of this is make believe horseshit. 90% of it, excuse my language, but you know, there's nothing new under the sun. And I don't know. I feel like we need to find some innovative ways to combat the system, because I do like the YouTube platform, but unfortunately, it's not here for us. The YouTube platform is not here for us. Google's not here for us. They don't give two shits about us or our free speech.
No,
And
they
neither
use
does
our
Verizon or
knowledge for
Comcast.
their.
Verizon and Comcast are not here for us. They're not our friends. They're here to make money.
Mhm.
And a lot of things are going to change if we lose net neutrality, which most likely what is going to end up happening, unfortunately.
Can you explain that to all of us and the viewers exactly what that is?
Net neutrality, I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. If you're not, you should check out battleforthenet.com. I'm not in the chat right now, but if anybody has a link, any of the mods, you guys can post it. Net neutrality is basically liberty for the internet. It's what keeps everything free, so to say. So there are no restrictions or special permissions given to any kind of a port or website or service or anything like that. You know, you have your access to file sharing networks at the same speed that you do for Netflix or Xbox or whatever it is you do on the internet. But if you lose net neutrality, which has happened in other countries already, and what's happened is the internet service providers, they will throttle your speeds, which means that they'll slow you down or keep you at a certain rate. And they pretty much extort you for more money so that you're forced to buy bundles and packages just so you can access sites like YouTube, or you have the social media package, you have to pay $5 for that. So everything's consolidated. And they're basically nickel and diming you.
Or if they don't like what you're doing,
They'll just shut you down completely. Yeah, if there's any opposition, exactly.
You. And if you ever get garden walled, you just need to learn how to go onto Tor and work around it, because everything has a workaround.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think a lot of people will be moving on to the dark web. I myself, I'll be moving away from streaming, and I'll just go back to analog if I have to. You know, I think a lot of us are going to be forced underground. Hopefully that's not the situation. But seeing what's happened as a result of losing net neutrality in other countries, I think that's what is going to end up happening, because there can be some special interests that are involved with this big push. And, you know, they don't have our best interests at heart. And we're going to end up being censored more than ever. So definitely have to find some innovative ways of getting the word out.
I was actually thinking about like downloading videos that was just audio, and then just like figuring out how to put them on like vinyl, like 78, so you could carry them around with you and stuff like that, or like put them on tapes to like just hit on that analog space, because you know, like people's videos, like for instance, Crow 777's video, our channel was taken down there for a couple of weeks, and that pretty much meant like the lunar wave didn't exist anymore. And I was like, oh wow, like it just never really occurred to me that like there's so much content out there that we just sort of all rely to exist on the internet, and that it'll always be there, but that's not necessarily true.
We're going back to pirate radio, guys. This is it.
Yeah.
Hey, vinyl is making a huge comeback.
Oh, vinyl's fantastic. If you guys haven't listened to a vinyl record, you don't know what music sounds like.
And you should look into like how to make a vinyl record, because you can like still like make them too, like on your own. Yeah.
Yeah, you can have vinyl pressed for a price.
Huh.
Anybody can. I mean, it doesn't have to be through a record label. There are different companies that can do it for you.
But even looking into like how a record's made and understanding, because that's how we like that was how we were able to like reproduce sound in general, was like the creation of the record. So just learning how like the record actually works and how sound works, I think most people should just like know how to do that in general, because I think, like I said, like with the internet, everybody just expects everything to be nice and smooth and you just upload and hit a button. But like, what happens when like you have none of that? Like maybe the internet doesn't exist, or you don't have electricity. How are you going to really pass content on to people? And people should like realize like you should still write things down. People should start writing books and stuff again.
Oh, I'm always writing stuff down.
This is your phone?
It's my Obama phone.
There you go. I'm taking it back to pirate radio,
It's
right?
the most reliable phone on the earth.
I'm checking out Maps' phone. She's got a, not even a flip phone. It's like a,
Yeah,
like a brick phone.
It's like a brick phone from 1995.
It's fantastic.
Is it Nokia?
No, it's like Alcatel.
It's not that old. I know what you're talking about. It's not that old.
Alcatel's Obama phone.
Yeah, it's an
Altel.
Obama phone.
That's fantastic.
Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Spell it out. What's it say?
ALCATEL.
Huh. Alcatel.
Yeah, it's my backup phone. Like this was my real phone, but I like. I don't know. I like using both.
There you go.
Speaking of very, very crazy things, and you know, a lot of people on the internet have been warning about this, and now it's come true. Put in this, K. Put in slaughter bots are drone locusts from the Bible, Revelation 9.
I will start to downgrade my hardware though. If these net neutrality laws are
Want me to go to YouTube and do it?
If we lose it, I will be going back to older devices. You know,
Spotter bots will what?
It's called slaughter bots are drone locusts from the Bible, Revelation 9.
Okay.
Make your own intranet. That's possible. Yeah.
I was
we can
wondering
make
about
an
that.
intranet. Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the internet that we know as it exists today. You know,
Totally.
because there are other networks that are
Yeah, that's what I
connected,
was
but they're not
thinking.
connected to the internet. It's an intranet. So that could work. We need a think tank.
Yeah.
To try to figure out how we're going to circumvent these new regulations.
You need to start raising seed capital now.
Now.
How many Bitcoins can we get in this?
You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're no longer presenting. I didn't know if you hit a button or something.
Yeah, it messed up.
That's exciting. I'm going to mute.
And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name.
Providing the swarm of MAVs with a big picture point of view. Data will be communicated amongst the MAVs to enable real-time, reliable decision-making and to provide an overall surveillance picture for other platforms or operators. Each individual MAV may perform a very distinct mission from its fellow swarm members. While some MAVs may be used purely for visual reconnaissance, others may be used for targeting or tagging of sensitive locations. Individual MAVs may perform direct attack missions, can be equipped with incapacitating chemicals, combustible payloads, or even explosives for precision targeting capability. MAVs may carry sensors to detect chemical, biological, or radiation threats and relay this information to human operators or to other unmanned platforms. Like their biological inspiration, MAVs are not limited to flight. The agile hovering, perching, and crawling MAV will fulfill the mission popularly termed dull, dirty, and dangerous, like no current system can. MAVs will become a vital element in the ever-changing warfighting environment and will help ensure success on the battlefield of the future. Unobtrusive, pervasive, lethal, micro-air vehicles, enhancing the capabilities of the future warfighter.
That not scary?
That is freaking weird. And you know what I just thought of? You know how it said it would have like hair of that of a woman? What if they start making like these furry creatures, like say a bird or something? It looks just like a bird.
Right. This is them dropping them out.
Wow.
Yep. Did you see the one where they do like a whole jumbo jet full of them?
And so they're dropping the Predator drones just like that?
These aren't Predator drones. These are swarm drones. So they work in conjunction, in tandem with each other. So it's like one big organism. Like they could have one bigger drone, and it has like suction cups. And say there's a bunker or something, that big drone could blast a hole in the wall, and then they could, all these little drones could go in there, and they have all these sensors. They have all these cameras. They have all this crap. I mean, this is like a nightmare. Think about if you were on the other end, or think about if a corporation released this, or think about if this just got into the wrong hands, how easy this would be. And if somebody replicated it like China, and they made like a big bus full, I mean a big like jumbo jet full, and released like 20 million of them.
I wonder if magnets would deter them.
I doubt it.
There's got to be something that would have to deter them.
EMP pulse.
Wow.
But yeah, the military has been making them stealthy to look like animals for a long time. But what's really scary is the drone, the swarm feature.
Yeah, listen to that.
The swarm feature mixed in with AI. The AI is only as good as its base programming. So you have these evil people that think the Earth is overpopulated. What's not to say that these AI would basically think that humans are the problem if it was taught that basically our problems are all stemming from overpopulation. The first thing it would think of would be to kill us. And then guess what? The people that created them would still be sitting back and be like, oh, it's the machines, not us.
Wow.
That's why you have a whole bunch of people that are like coming out saying like this is our number one threat right now. Because it is. As far as this whole beast system, there's a lot of like tentacles and a lot of layers and a lot of stuff, but AI keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. And considering how fast AI could learn, it's really scary.
They could do so much with that.
I know.
Do you think that is what Revelation 9 was talking about? Those drones?
It's some something like that. Yeah, I do think Revelation 9 has some sort of Google DARPA technology. I do. I've always thought that. In fact, if you look at the colors, it almost reminds you of Google colors. Some sort of hybrid. Could be some sort of part this, part that. I mean, this AI is very scary. I mean, people don't even realize the things that it could do now. Google is making right now a AI that is an AI god that's going to want to be worshipped, and that really is scary because that is part of the Bible too. At one point, it's going to demand to be worshipped, and then something is going to go on in the world where people are going to have to get marked either it's going to be there's going to be some really bad pandemic and you're going to need to know if you got inoculated or whatever.
Like the mark of the beast. James. They don't like what he was talking about.
What's up, you lose James?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Me and Master are having a conversation.
About what?
And there's various things. Like health related things like turmeric, and then we were talking about henna tattoos and just various things in nature.
Did you see those drones?
Yeah, it did.
Crazy.
Yeah. Does James have a drone? I feel like he's the type to get one of those nice drones and live stream or something like that.
You can live stream with a drone?
If you have the right drone, yeah. It has to have a Wi-Fi signal, but it doesn't always work well. I'm sure like the technology is improving though. But you can live stream from a drone. You have to have a decent Wi-Fi signal.
Right.
I mean, they're not all that expensive either, but I'm sure that, you know, if you get an entry level, it's not going to fly as well as, say, a Mavic DJI.
Well, you get the entry level first to be able to learn how to fly the good ones, you know?
Right. Just so you know that you can actually operate it. But if you can play a video game, like if you can play a first-person shooter game or whatever, you can definitely fly a drone, you know?
Oh, dude,
Yeah, the
you gotta look
coordination
out.
between the two thumbsticks.
Look up the FTP drones. They got these goggles now that you can basically see through the drone camera, and they have these like drone races where dudes are sitting in like camping chairs with goggles on their faces. I'm gonna look it up right now. And they have like drone races, so like you're having the point of view of the drone. It's like you're flying in like one of those Star Wars ships or something.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Let me see if I can find I'll like screen share the
You want your
video.
chair back?
Nah, it's cool. I can see.
Here, let me stop screen sharing. That way you can.
I'm gonna look it up really quick. I don't know what that was. Man, I was watching a lot of random shit yesterday. Oh, there it is. Oh, wait. Savage, really. There it is. First person view. Drone racing. All right, let me screen share. Google Hangout. What am I doing? Wait. You know what?
It's this one right here. Yeah.
Oh.
That's the one you want. If it works.
Okay. Desktop. Start screen share. Okay. So that's from the point of view of the person looking through the goggles of his own drone. And he's racing it.
Wow.
Doesn't it look just like Star Wars?
Oh, yeah.
This is pod racing.
That's what it is, pod racing. This is like the coolest way to do security on your property.
I feel like that, like, oh, he's just wiped out. I feel like there's a lot of skill involved with that. I can operate a drone, but I wouldn't be able to use it like that. I wouldn't want to. I'd be scared to.
See, and then yeah, you see how this guy has like these goggles attached to his face? That's like how it's happening.
I mean, that's all I think about during the days, pretty much. I'm always doing something probably related to FPV, either looking up a cool video on YouTube or checking on all the groups on Facebook and seeing what's going on in the community. So FPV stands for first person view. It uses a camera mounted on the front of the quad to send a signal back to a pair of goggles that you use to fly the quadcopter. It's really free. Being able to zoom next to trees and go through gates, and it gives you this buzz, this adrenaline rush. You can't beat it.
We are at the beginning of something big.
Click on mine.
No, I feel like I'm 15 all over again. Being a Star Wars fan, it was just.
You what, Mike?
What's that, James?
Click on my video.
Click on your video?
What are you referring to?
Go click on my my icon on the bottom.
On Hangouts?
Yeah.
You want us to stop sharing?
No, we're both sharing. Just click on mine really quick.
Yeah, I've already clicked on his. I got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was watching this video earlier.
It's like real life Tron.
So this is like a high tech one.
Yeah, these drone races are becoming more and more popular too.
It's like, yeah, they're like super popular.
I think just found out about this from the guy who's gonna build the new casing for my mini sprout. Clearly, he has these goggles. And he like does.
So they have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 level place. Everybody has these goggles on. What I want to know is think about when augmented reality becomes part of it. So like part of the racetrack is augmented.
Dude, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I first saw that, and that's like what I wanted. Like, I was like, man, I wonder if I could do that, because then it would be like a real life video game.
It would, yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to show you that.
Yeah, no, that's real. Yeah, because that video right there is like some other shit. Of like how the
reality, they're really trying to get people to get into this augmented space. Like, I forget what movie I watched, but they go, and it's really trippy because it really opens your mind up. They go to this like outdoor shopping center, and then it's basically out in the desert, and then they put on these goggles, and they're in this like alien world, which is crazy because it started reminding me of that dream I had with the whole step pyramid and all that. But yeah, and then there was things that you could only do in the augmented space. So you could only get to this area through augmented realms, but the augmented world was in this desert spot. So it was like a layer upon a layer upon a layer. It's really confusing, but like you start to see it and you're like, and then you could shop. So you could shop, and it was virtual shopping.
Whoa.
But they had everything there, and then you would have this like coin, like you would have this like your digital whatever, and then you could go and get your stuff, and it would go on, and basically I felt like it was next to like an Amazon warehouse or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they're doing that for reals.
Whoa.
I don't know if it was out in the public yet, but it's probably in testing. But basically, you put on these goggles, you could go to like this like crazy world, and they also had other stuff like you could go on rides, do all this stuff, and you were basically walking around. They showed the people, and they were just walking around aimlessly out in this middle of this like empty space. But then it showed what it looked like to them, and they were in some like alien world, and I mean they could do all kinds of crazy stuff, and they mixed the augmented reality with the real world, so you could like go down this ladder, and you were really going down a ladder like was augmented, so they were like going into these like alien worlds with all these people dancing and all this crazy shit. But then when you looked at them like on just regular, it was just like this dude going down a ladder. But when you looked at it on their point of view, they were like in some crazy world, and then it was like this big shopping center. It was like humongous. Like you get anything you want. I think it was in Japan or China or something like that. It was so crazy.
Dude, I gotta look that up. That sounds fucking redonkulous. And it makes me actually think about I went to a pitch event not yesterday, the day before, and it's at this place called the Pennovation Center. It's like right around the corner from my house, but what it is an incubator space for tech startups for kids that were going to the University of Pennsylvania, Penn State or whatever. And mostly they most of the cohorts I've seen come out of there are usually medical technology based. And one of the pitches I saw was for basically these kids are they're in the middle of creating synthetic neural pathways to supposedly cure Alzheimer's. And I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
And I have the video on my phone. But yeah, I recorded the video.
And what's crazy is they're making these chips, right? They're called synthetic. So they're basically like a Terminator, what the T-1000 would use to get like power and stuff. And there were these chips, and they basically use them in robots. And people are scared because you could layer these chips and like you could mine, and they're scared corporations are just going to get a hold or take over the industry. But what's crazy is pulling in literal or entities that even the creator is saying like, you don't know what we're doing, like they're not what you think they are. It's going to change life forever and all this stuff, and they make it sound really like ominous, that they're like, oh yeah, it's the old ones, we're summoning the old ones. They're not necessarily demons. That's the D-Wave, where they're both basically going into another dimension and pulling out information and things into this dimension. And then you have these chips, basically bio something or other. I don't even know what they're called. But these things are small, and they have a lot of computing power. They put them in robots at General Dynamics and at DARPA, and they power up so you can be linked in with the AI without having to be tethered to a computer. So not only can you be directly like right there with the AI, but they also have power capabilities through lithium and through all kinds of other stuff. And they're really thin. And there's all kinds of stuff you could, I mean, it is so crazy what's going on now. And they were saying how you could stack these things and do all kinds of stuff. I mean, think about when all this pops off. Right now, we're in the point of, it's still like kind of in the test consumption yet, but you know there's a plan to roll it all out.
Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be a convergence point where all of these technologies are going to feed into like one system that everybody's going to just eventually have to buy into. I think they call it the Overton window, when they sort of like have things out and it's not like necessarily like everyone has it, but everyone's aware of it. And so at a certain point, they're just going to be like, okay, this is the new standard. Even though you never had it, you like know that it exists and it's been around for a long time. And then that's the Overton window, is when you have this window of time where you're sort of like testing everything out and letting the people see and sort of interact with it.
Is basically changing from one thing to another. So like doing it right now with like letting in all the Muslims and doing all this and saying mother and father is bad and all this. They're changing the Overton window to go against humanity. Changing that, and usually they I don't think they think, but they change it so far, Overton window so far, that they figure at least will gain, because then when they try to reset it or try to normalize, now you can literally get locked up if you don't know. Have you ever met a transsexual that you don't know if it's a him or her or whatever? Well, now you have to use these words Z and G and whatever. That and then the LGBTQ is now LGBTQRIYZZZ.
The whole alphabet.
But it's literal. It's literal, and that literally is changing the Overton window, because for us at first it was a joke, but it's not a joke. Like to them.
No, it's not a joke to them.
And
that's
then you start putting rules and stuff into place where you start going to jail, and then you're like, well, I don't want to go to jail. These people are social engineers. They basically engineer us to be a different way.
You heard
bad. They're very bad.
Did you hear about the law in California where it's like now not illegal that like if you have AIDS or HIV, like you don't have to tell somebody before you have sex with them?
No, and they're encouraging it. As a matter of fact, there was this
illegal. You would go to jail. Now it's like totally legal.
The Washington Post literally had an article that was saying like, it was literally saying have sex with someone that has been that used to have HIV, and they were saying like you're gonna be like a racist or like some sort of like phobic if you didn't, and they were saying it's a good way to prove that you're not is to have sex. And I'm going like, this can't be real. Like I can't.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and I don't like this idea of like
everybody wants to put it on California. It's not California. It's the people that are running California that are basically making the people that are in charge, like Jerry Brown. These people are corrupt, and they're at the head of the Democratic Party. These people on the West Coast and East Coast, that's why they call it a coastal elite. They're still in charge of New York and LA and stuff like that. They're still in charge on the West and East Coast. And they're just, like you said, the Overton window, they're shifting it so far over. And then what's going to be crazy is at the same time, we have a new money system coming into play, which is Bitcoin and digital currency, cryptocurrencies. Then you have AIs coming online. You have God knows what's going on with the earth. It's all like coming to a head. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I think this year is going to be full of all kinds of surprises. 2018. I think a lot of this stuff has been building up specifically for like this year and 2020, because they've done so much hype around like what's to be expected by then.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
just
and I think
showing.
California is like the testing state for a lot of these things too.
Definitely a testing state for directed energy. Definitely a testing state on how far they can push communism and socialism. Definitely a
Well-
testing state on cuckness. It's like you have the epicenter of cuck, and you have the epicenter of mind control here.
Well, California is an easy target because you could just pass it off as a wildfire, with these different types of, I guess I'll call it fraud on a massive scale.
Genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's horrible with that. Now they've gone past, and you can see that's looking like, especially Brussels is their main like head. Europe is like New World Order Europe, and people are basically finally realizing something's pretty gotten out of control. Oh, by the way, all these places in what you're watching here is Lost machines now have new graphics cards, and all those graphics cards, just like the machines, run 24/7. Graphics cards are able to mine Bitcoin 24/7, and a lot
I
of
thought
these
that was a
places
separate chip that mined the Bitcoin because Maps showed me hers. She has a little chip. And is that a separate module from the video card?
Well, the ones they put in, they're able to do that. Like, they have the NVIDIA like 2 times plus, whatever cards, whatever they are. When they're not sitting there being played, be mining Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and she was talking about these warehouses that are filled with nothing but the Bitcoin miners, and they do this on a massive scale.
Yeah, but what's more massive than Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Very true.
Right
Very true.
outside in Henderson, Las Vegas, there's an underground complex. I know there's an underground data center, but there's also a massive project going on where I believe that Las Vegas is getting some sort of new technology, new type of energy. I don't know what it is, but if you do the numbers, it doesn't make sense for it. There's way too much energy here, and they have a lot of weird stuff, and they have a lot of underground stuff, and I don't know. There's something going on underneath us that is really big.
Are you referring to the Hutchison effect?
No.
Yeah,
Well,
I get what you're saying.
that is a new type of, or whatever. It's frequency. You could do all kinds of weird stuff. What I'm talking about is a new type of harvesting energy. They have these new poles that look like a pyramid, upside down pyramid. The point going from the ground, and then the two things come out. It looks really awkward, and they're out in the middle of the desert. Quinn Michaels went out there, and he was just kind of searching around. He noticed that he was getting like crazy fast internet speeds out in the middle of nowhere. They had these crazy poles that he was like doing. He was going like, well, this would be good if it was like this kind of energy. Da, 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 da. And he's saying that these are feeding in possibly to the underground or possibly to data centers or areas. I don't know, whatever's going on, because a lot of these ground, they are expanding, and who knows what's going on down there. They have a lot of data centers where they hold a lot of massive NSA style stuff. A lot of corporations have it to where it's not even on Earth anymore. It's in these. But there's more to than that, because and this ties in with uranium-1. This ties the uranium somehow has to super cool these AI systems. It's not just water. These things that are like metals that could mutate into other metals, and I mean, dude, it's like a science fiction movie. I don't know exactly what's going on, but there is so much, and a lot of it is in Vegas. And what's crazy is have you heard, right, that on October 1st there was a heist that went on, not only with the people getting shot for a large heist.
What do you mean? Say that again.
There was something going on where they heisted. That's another reason why they don't want any information getting out. They were taken for a lot of something, gold, money. I don't think it was money.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And so they laid down fire, and it was somebody connected, or was this entity connected with law enforcement, because they knew all the protocols. They knew exactly what they do. They had all these things. It was the night of a test. They basically got their way into that test, and then they made it go live. But then during that, we're talking about helicopters with their transponders, making it seem like they were airplanes. They had kill teams in place. They knew that shooting people, look at the response time. It took them an hour to get into that room. How long did it take for them just to get into Mandalay Bay?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there was and I'm possibly thinking that there's an underground element to all this, or some sort of something that we're not. There's a lot of stuff, and then it goes into this data center that is in Henderson. I'm wondering if just like what all is entailed here. And then you see the crown prince, which is Saudi Arabian, was there that night, and they were there.
Oh, I didn't know he was there.
They were there that night. But they were only on the top floor. They were there on the top floors of Mandalay Bay, which isn't even Mandalay Bay. The top floors fell completely.
Oh, no shit.
And
I didn't even know
so
that.
there are all these like upper big wigs, and then all this rounding up of all these big wigs, and basically they were rounded up by Blackwater and stuff. So I wonder if it was a heist and trying to go. I mean, it's just there's a lot more going on than we know about.
Yeah, that's a big distraction for sure. And like 9/11 is like a great example of that, because that was a heist too.
That's what I'm saying. 9/11, on all reality, it was a huge jack move of gold, of all that gold.
In fact, I believe Mr. Who was the owner of the World Trade Center complex? I forget.
Forgot his name.
I wanted to say Rubenstein, but that's the Carlyle Group.
Kissinger?
No, the owner of the World Trade Center
The
complex.
guy who tried to get the double insurance money on the Twin Towers.
He actually just recently won a settlement, and he won some more money off it. It was several $1 million, I believe.
I could have swore it was Kissinger.
No,
I wasn't Kissinger.
No, it was a guy that just bought them.
Okay.
I'm gonna Google it real quick. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Hey guys, we're gonna have to wrap this up. It's already 3:30, and
Larry Silverstein.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just recently won a lawsuit. So this is something that's ongoing. They're still making money off of this.
Well, heck yeah. And then supposedly they took all the gold that was buried underneath the World Trade Center.
Yes, and then they also testify, and they had them, or they got hit right away. They're like, yeah, meet us up in the 9th floor or whatever, and they all died.
Huh?
And that right there, pause that right there. That right there. So, see this? This was supposed to be built, but it hasn't been built, so all there is these towers right here and right here. and people think that there were shooters in these because this whole project got scrapped.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this is right outside of Mandalay Bay. And see these two towers? This one and this one? Those are those two poles that are just sticking up right next. And the Harvest Fest was like right here.
Where's the two poles?
Two poles were right here.
They take them down?
No, those are the only things that are left. This was supposed to be built. This was supposed to be built. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's the same one because I'm noticing Mandalay is back here. But did you know that Delano used to be called the hotel? I used to be in a high rollers club at the Mandalay Bay, and they used to be named the hotel.
Just called the hotel.
Just
That's
called the
Yeah, that doesn't sound shady though.
All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. It's been awesome. We need to do this more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Most
Just
definitely.
just like the old days where it is like
I know,
3:30
right?
in the morning.
Yeah.
Nobody's passed out yet.
All right. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Doc, thanks for all the links. I appreciate it. Mike Doyle, I see you. You're full of information. Thanks for being here, man. Big P 99. We Are Free TV. Thank you. Bob Hammond.
We are freezing the house.
Mathis PT. Appreciate you being here. Illusion Shattered. Mia Vengeance.
Shattered.
And everybody else that's here. I appreciate it.
You the best.
Love you guys.
Hosting, Kay.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No problem. Anytime. All right. We're out.
All right.
All right, later.